Let us come to the next topic, preparation of haloalkanes by using hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons or alkanes, alkenes and alkynes. Now we are going to prepare a haloalkanes by using a alkanes and alkenes, single bond and double bonded. Let us see the first one is alkanes is a A type. B type we are going to see alkenes. So free radical substitution reaction. Free radical substitution reaction, it is a tertiary is greater than secondary is greater than primary is a major product. So I've given secondary hydrogen is a more reactive than the primary. Here a CH3, CH2, CH3, 3 carbon, it is a propane. Chlorine is used in the sunlight in presence of ultraviolet light. So it is a more reactive in presence of sunlight as well as in dark another reaction. So here I have taken a sunlight. So this here I have written CH3, CH2, single bond, this CH2, this CH3 I have written a CH2 and single bond 1H I have separately have written. Chlorine Cl2 with a single bond they have connected. Each bond contains 2 electrons. If the bond gets break, each chlorine will take one electron. That is called free radical. Free radical will have an unpaired electron is called free radical. So only one electron will be having. And this CH3, one of the hydrogen I return in a bonded hydrogen. This bond gets break. This CH2 will take one electron. This hydrogen will take one electron. This hydrogen one electron. This chlorine one electron bounded. It forms a HCl. So this Cl with a one electron combined with this CH2. So we'll get a CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl as a one product that is called 1-chloropropane, only 45%. Because this CH2 single bond is called primary free radical. It is a less stable. I told you tertiary is greater than secondary is greater than primary. So when compared to secondary, primary is very less stable, so only 45%. Let us see another option. This CH3, CH2, CH3. This CH I have separated CH and this H. Now when this bond gets break, the CH will take one electron and the H will take one electron. Cl2 have a one electron in both sides. If it gets break, it becomes a Cl one electron, Cl another electron. This one of the Cl free radical, this H free radical combines, it forms HCl. Then this CH acquires the free radical of one electron is a secondary free radical. So it is combined with this free radical of chlorine, we form a 2-chloropropane. So this is called a secondary free radical carbon and this is a primary free radical carbon. So when you compare to primary free radical and secondary free radical is a more stable. So we are getting major product, 55%. Here in a primary free radical, we got only 45%. So next example, butane. Same example I told you, it is the chlorine is replaced by this hydrogen and chlorine. Here we'll get a CH2Cl means it is a primary free radical formation, only 28%. Here if it takes here means it forms a secondary free radical combination. So it is a 72%. So like that we should say the maximum percentage. So that shows a tertiary free radical, secondary free radical and primary free radical stability. Tertiary free radical is more stable than secondary free radical is more stable than primary. So type of hydrogen being substituted. NEET exam, they will ask you in the benzylic, allylic, alkyl, vinylic and arylic. So benzylic and allylic both are approximately equal and than the alkyl group, and this alkyl group is greater than vinylic group as well as the arylic group. So let us see the explanation of this vinylic and arylic. Vinylic and arylic are also unreactive, so they do not participate free radical halogenation. So water, that is allylic and benzylic halogens are easily prepared. So example for benzyl cation and aryl cation. In benzyl cation, the energy is 243 kilocalorie per mole, allyl cation 256 kilocalorie per mole. So benzylic is more stable in a low energy. So formation, allyl formation, CH2, double bond CH, single bond CH3. So it is called as a prop-1-ene. So in this prop-1-ene, it is chlorine is attached. So I have expanded here CH2 double bond CH single bond. This CH3 I have separated one hydrogen, each bond containing 2 electrons. And as the bond gets break, this hydrogen acquires one free radical. This CH2 acquires free radical. So here it is a chlorine is separated into Cl bonded electron, 2 bonds in a gas phase at a 773 to 783 Kelvin. So when the hydrogen is released, you will get a CH2Cl. That is called allyl group. CH2 double bond CH2 is called allyl group. With the allyl Cl is there, it is called allyl chloride with hydrochloric acid. Then example with the benzylic group, that is called as a CH3CH. Benzene group, it is called toluene, and bromine is there. So here same way you separate the CH3, CH2 single bond H, then CH2 will take 1 electron, H will take 1 electron, bromine as like Cl bonded electron, Cl, we will get a HBr will be released, so we will get a CH2Br. So C6H5CH2 is called benzyl. So it is called benzylic formation with the sunlight. High reactivity of allylic and benzylic hydrogen atoms can be explained in terms of stabilization of resonance, allylic and benzylic free radicals forming the intermediate compounds. So once the intermediate compound is formed, very quickly we'll get a product. So listen this. CH2 double bond CH, CH2. It is called as an allylic compound with a free radical here. In a double bond, one of the double bond I have taken one electron this side, another electron. This arrow mark is half-headed arrow mark. It is not full-headed arrow mark. This is like this is called full-headed. This is half-headed arrow mark. Half-headed arrow mark shows it takes one electron. So this side of this half-headed arrow mark, this one of the free radical is going to this carbon. This free radical is going and combined with this electron, so it forms a bond. So here double bond and this carbon acquires a free radical. So this is called allylic free radical. So resonance in benzylic free radical. When you see the benzylic group here, one free radical. Inside the 3 bonds are there, pi bonds are there. So in this one of the pi bond have the 2 electrons. In this 2 electron, this 1/2 means only 1 electron is go and combined here. It is acquires double bond. This single bond is kept on the top of this carbon as a free radical. Then again it has come to this carbon. This carbon bonded. So double bond contains 2 electrons. So half-headed means only 1 electron will go and combine here. It becomes double bond. Here it got a double bond. Then this bond is come out of this carbon is the free radical. Then next to this carbon will have a 2 electrons, single-headed carbon. So only 1 electron are combined with this. So it forms a double bond. He would let up 1 electron free radical. So this free radical is combined means it acquires, this bond acquires 2 electron. One of the electron will be combined with this free radical. He left out 1 free radical. So what this is called the shifting of free radicals in a resonance type. So half-headed, only 1 electron will go. It is called as a curved arrows. It is called a half-headed with going with a single electron. You imagine if they ask any free radical electrons or paramagnetic or diamagnetic character, if they ask, you should say only paramagnetic because it has a 1 electron. Unpaired electron means paramagnetic. Double electron means diamagnetic. So free radicals are paramagnetic in character, the replacement movement of single electron. So each bond contains 2 electrons. So fluorination of alkenes, highly exothermic and violent, is not takes place. So methane plus iodine in pair iodic acid or a nitric acid in presence, it forms CH3I because here 4 hydrogen, here 2 hydrogen, 1 HI will be removed. So instead of 1 hydrogen, 1 iodine will be substituted, methyl iodide. But in this reaction, it is unstable because the formed HI will combine with the pair iodic acid. Again, it forms the iodine. So addition of this process is not possible fully. So addition of halogens in alkanes. So here in the alkenes, a double bond compound CH2 double bond CH2, 2 bromine to be taken in presence of carbon tetrachloride medium. Here it is a one bromine molecule gives Br minus Br plus, second molecule Br minus Br plus. So here HBr is released, and this instead of hydrogen, this bromine will be substituted. Here HBr is released. Instead of this hydrogen, bromine is substituted. So C, so water, here it is CH2, CH2, it is nothing but bromine, bromine, vicinal dibromide. Then alkenes are CH2, double bond CH2, CH. This we are adding a HX, H plus and X minus. When you add a double bond will be converted to single bond. So water will get a alkanes. So symmetrical alkanes HX, we will get a H and X is added. This becomes CH3 and this is CH2X. Then this is also symmetrical CH3, CH, double bond CH, CH3 with HBr. So what here? Here according to the Markovnikov's rule you are following, that is Markovnikov rule means nothing but first I'll say for the symmetrical, this HBr, one H here and one Br here. So we'll get a CH3, CH2, single bond, CHBr, CH3. If it is a symmetrical means wherever we can add a hydrogen and a halogens, no problem. We can add a hydrogen this side and halogen this side. We will get the same product. Whether if we add a hydrogen here and halogen this side also, we are getting same product. But in unsymmetrical alkenes means that adding HX or adding HBr or HCl means we should very carefully, we should follow the rule that is called Markovnikov rule. So in this Markovnikov rule, that is negative particle, for example, H plus and X minus, this negative particle will go and attack the unsaturated, least unsaturated hydrocarbon. Least unsaturated means here it is this CH double bond CH2. This is saturated carbon. These two carbons are unsaturated. Out of these two unsaturated, we should see which has a very least unsaturated hydrocarbon. CH only has a less hydrogen. Here 2 hydrogen. So this negative part will go and attack the very least unsaturated hydrocarbon, and the plus will go and attack the more hydrogen. So what this is called Markovnikov rule. If it is an opposite, if the hydrogen, the negative part goes here, means that is anti-Markovnikov rule. So first you learn Markovnikov rule. Well, the negative part will here HBr, this Br minus should go and attack this CH only. Because these two are unsaturated hydrocarbon, in unsaturated hydrocarbon should have a very least hydrogen. Only that carbon, this negative part will go and attack. That is called as a Markovnikov rule in presence of any organic peroxides. Example, benzoyl peroxide is the catalyst. So here, two possibilities. This Br minus can attack either this carbon or this carbon. Suppose if the Br minus go and attack here, H plus is going to attack here, means CH3, CH, single bond, CH2, Br will get it. Only 10%. The product is not a stable compound. Here when it is the following Markovnikov rule, the negative part will go and attack to the very least unsaturated hydrocarbon of CH. Here CH3, CHBr, this H are combined with the CH2, we are getting isopropyl bromide, that is 90% we are getting the yield by applying the Markovnikov rule. So if you want to apply this H plus to here means that is called anti-Markovnikov rule. Only the negative part will go and attack the very least unsaturated hydrocarbon is called a Markovnikov rule. So benzoyl peroxide is the name of C6H5COOO CO C6H5. So 2C6H5 is combined with peroxide. OO is called peroxide. So it is called benzoyl. C6H5CO is called benzoyl. So 2 benzoyl group with the peroxide. So that is called benzoyl peroxide. It's called as a Markovnikov rule, or it is called as a crash effect, or it is called as a peroxide effect. This is a concept. Negative part attack the very least unsaturated hydrocarbon. It's called as a crash effect also we can call. Now I have given you in a two-way. One is following Markovnikov rule, another is the anti-Markovnikov rule. CH3, CH double bond, CH2 is a reactant with the HBr. Here HBr is attacking. If it is HBr is a negative part. If attacks this very high unsaturated hydrocarbon, it is the anti-Markovnikov rule. We'll get a 1-bromopropane. If this Br is attacking this very least unsaturated hydrocarbon, it forms the Markovnikov rule, that is called 2-bromopropane. So in NCERT question, they will ask you one question is, we are supposed to use only HBr only we are using, we are not using hydrofluoric acid or hydrochloric acid or a hydrohydric acid. That is a question. In Markovnikov rule and anti-Markovnikov rule, HBr only to be used, not hydrofluoric acid, hydrochloric acid and hydrohydric acid is used. Why? Because bond strength order of HX. HF is very greater, I mean bond strength is very shorter. HCl because more size. So HF and HCl has a very high bond strength. The polarity of homolytic cleavage means taking the electrons evenly, does not occur easily. But hydroiodic acid, it is a weak bond and also it is a strong reducing agent, easily oxidized by peroxides. So I already told you that hydroiodic acid is easily iodine. Once it is formed, the hydroiodic acid easily oxidized by the periodic acid because it is iodine is a strong reducing agent. So remember this fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. When you come from top to bottom, iodine is a very strong reducing agent, but fluorine very strong oxidizing agent. So just leave this. Iodine is a very strong reducing agent so what it is easily oxidized by the peroxide, so it cannot be used. So for hydrofluoric acid, hydroiodic acid, hydrochloric acid cannot be used because of very high bond strength, and HBr also same way. And I mean HBr can be used very easily, but hydroiodic acid is not possible because of easily oxidized by the peroxides. So HI cannot be used, HCl cannot be used, HF cannot be used, HBr is an appreciable one to apply in a Markovnikov rule. So peroxide effect. Now we let us see this radical, free radical mechanism. RO, I mean benzoyl peroxide, I said no, that is R, C6H5. O peroxide, that is O is called peroxide. This each bond contains 2 electrons. One is a half-headed, means it will take only 1 electron. This half-headed means it will take 1 electron. So RO free radical plus RO free radical. This RO free radical with the HBr. So HBr with a single bonded, with this hydrogen takes 1 electron, this bromine will take 1 electron. So this electron of hydrogen are combined with this oxygen free radical form ROH, left out bromine free radical. So this bromine free radical is going to attack one alkene, CH3, CH double bond CH2. One of the double bond gets break into free radical. This CH takes 1 electron, this CH2 takes 1 electron. So what this, two possibilities. If it is a 1 electron CH2 means it are combined with the CH2Br. Or if CH means it is the, if CH2 are combined, CH will have one free radical. This is called secondary free radical. And here this bromine are combined with the CH, it left out one free radical on CH2. So this is called primary free radical. When we compare the free radical, tertiary free radical is more stable than secondary free radical is more stable than primary free radical. So this is primary free radical, this is secondary free radical is more stable than primary. So it is more stable and this is less stable. Order of the stability of free radical is tertiary is greater than secondary is greater than primary. So peroxide effect is not observed in case of the addition of hydrofluoric acid, hydrochloric acid and hydroiodic acid. So thanks for watching.